Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video that's a little bit different. Usually I do like my everyday vlogs, but today I've been getting so many requests for this video, so I thought I'd finally just sit down and do it instead of including it in a vlog, so you guys don't have to watch my day. You can just sit down and watch this informative video. Today's video, obviously you've seen the title, but it is products that I recommend for 3 to 6 months and things that I would not recommend from 3 to 6 months and older. My hair is falling out like crazy, so bad. I was in the shower before and literally a massive, like 5 to 6 chunks fell out. Like, it was so bad. I was conditioning my hair and like every time I do that, like bits fall out. It's so bad. I don't know if it's getting better or worse or what's going on, but I'm still losing so much hair. It doesn't look as bad as it did like in these areas, but it's still pretty bad. Anyways, not the point of the video. It is very hot here in Australia right now. It is currently 28 degrees Celsius here right now. So very hot. I have the door open instead of the aircon this time. I always make the mistake of having the aircon on in my videos and you can just hear this like buzzing noise in the background. So I've decided to open the door with the screen closed so you guys can hear the beautiful birds instead, because I felt like that was a lot nicer and the breeze is pretty good too. I'm just gonna get straight into the video instead of why can't I say that word? I can never say that word. Blabbering on. Straight to the point. I have everything written on my phone, so if you see me looking at my phone, that is why. I am not scrolling through Instagram, I promise you. We're going to start off with things that I do recommend from 3 to 6 months. So I'd probably say around the 4 to 5 month mark, babies start getting a lot more aware and start playing with a lot more things. They start to want to, you know, move around a little bit more and be a bit more, just explore a lot more than they would. Things do change up quite a bit, and especially when it comes to feeding. So we started giving Nalu solids around 4 months. We started trying solids at 4 months, not properly feeding her meals every day. It was more like just trying different types of foods, and she seemed to love it. She was showing all the signs. Sorry, my hair is just like falling out like crazy. I always need to vacuum the floor every single day. Yeah, she was showing signs of like wanting food quite early on, so like opening her mouth when there would be food around. She would be like staring at food, trying to grab food. She'd do this thing where she'd go when like we're eating and she like wants some. So we did start solids quite early, but now she's almost 6 months. She's like a week off 6 months, and she's having 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. And sometimes if I'm having like a little snack, like if I'm having some fruit or something like that, I'll give her a little bit. We are doing baby led weaning, and I do want to do a video on that later on because I highly recommend baby led weaning. It is so good and Nali loves it, but I'm not going to get into that. But that is what we're doing. We did start off with purees at the start when she was a bit younger, because she didn't have that reflex of like keeping things in her mouth. She like still had that reflex of like pushing it out with her tongue, which babies do. So you can't really start lead weaning until that reflex goes away, which yeah, now we are doing. There's a lot of things that change within this period of time, especially when they start hitting 6 months. Nalu's like basically crawling now, so yeah, she's starting to get into a lot more things and explore. I just found a dummy that I have been looking for so long. It's under her cot. I'm going to start off with entertainment type things, so like toys, playing, etc. There's a lot more than this list that I'm showing you. This is basically just what works for us, what Nalu enjoys, but every baby's different. Every baby will like different things and not like different things, so take this list with a grain of salt and yeah, just do whatever works for you. For entertainment, the toys that she likes the most is things that make sounds. So like scrunchy toys. We have like this like scrunchy book that she likes, and then there's like these blocks. They're quite big, which she's big enough to play with now, but on some sides it makes like scrunchy noises. She loves like rattles to play with. We have this bear that she loves, so like you press its hands and its feet and it sings songs, it makes noises, and she loves it. So anything that makes sounds, most babies love, so that is something that I definitely recommend getting. You can literally find scrunchy or noisy toys anywhere. Just go on Amazon, I'm sure you'll find some. Go into Target, you'll find some. Even just like grocery grocery shops here in Australia. They have those kind of toys. Super easy to find, but definitely recommend for this age. The next thing is her jumperoo. She loves it. I would only recommend doing this if your baby has good neck strength, because they do need to be able to hold their head upright, but she absolutely loves her jumperoo. We just kind of clip it to around a door and she bounces around and has the best time. Like, she loves it so much. So that is something I definitely recommend. You can get them from a few places. I'm pretty sure Amazon sells them. Don't take my word for it, but you can get them like off Facebook Marketplace for so cheap. So if you're on a little bit of budget but you really want to get one for your bubba, definitely recommend Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is like the best thing ever. We use it all the time for a lot of our things and we've saved so much money. Next thing is a walker, and I've spoken about this before. We've been using a walker since around 4 months for Nalu because she has extremely good neck strength and back strength and she loves it. Like, we can put her in there and she'll run around the house for like an hour and not be phased, just like have the best time. She chases the cat around, follows us around the house. She loves it. She's like learnt to reverse and turn on it and everything like that. There is a myth that is now outdated, and that is that it gives babies bowed legs. That information is currently outdated. Like, they've claimed that it's false. So that's something that we're not worrying about. My parents put me in a walker and I don't have bowed legs, so that is something that I do recommend. Also, if your bubba is too small for a high chair but you're feeding them solids, definitely recommend that. Just getting like a walker with a tray in front, because that's basically all we use now. We have ordered a high chair because it's getting really hard because she now throws her food everywhere. So yeah, if you have a bubba that's too small, it's super easy to just like feed them on while they're in there, so you're not having to hold them or anything like that. So yeah, but Nalu loves her walker. We love the walker. Definitely recommend. Another thing that Nalu has started to really like is soft toys. She tends to go for a soft toy more than her hard toys now, which is also another sign of a leap. So if your baby's going through a leap, that is something that they might reach for instead of hard toys. I know this is not recommended, but she sleeps with a stuffed penguin and she loves her penguin. She will not sleep without her penguin, so we haven't had any issues with it and she loves it. She's old enough now to know if it's over her face and pull it away, so yeah, we're not really worried about that. She can push herself up, she can roll over, she can like crawl around, so we're not too phased about it. But soft toys, babies tend to love around this age because they do go through I think they do go through 2 big leaps around this age from 3 to 6 months. Nalu's still in her 5th leap, which is the relationships leap, and that goes for like 5 weeks, I think. So they're super long leaps, but yeah, soft toys definitely recommend. Babies tend to start going for them more around this age, and just like bright, colorful, like happy toys. Don't get those like neutral toned toys. Babies prefer colorful things, let me tell you. I made that mistake at the start, and I wanted everything to be like gender neutral and like super soft brown tones and everything like that, and Nelly hated it. She did not like it at all. Like, she hated it. She would not want to play with any of her things. And then as soon as we got like a colorful play mat, she was like, I'm stoked. She was like lapping it up. She loved it. Okay, the next category is feeding, and once you do start solids, which will be around like the 4 to 6 month mark, you will need to get a few different items. One thing that we did get for Nalu is a water bottle, but one that has like a little, it's like has the same top as like a normal bottle, so not too much water comes out. It's like the same as a bottle. So when you start feeding your baby solids, you should be giving them little sips of water, especially when we give her like real starchy foods like potatoes or carrots or things like that. We will always give her water bottle with that, so it just kind of helps her eat. Another thing is like soft spoons. We have like some silicone top spoons because the metal ones or wooden ones are just really hard in their mouth and they do like kind of chewing on it a little bit. So I definitely recommend some like silicone stuff, especially silicone bowls that suction down to their high chair or table or whatever. That just helps them not to be able to grab it and throw it off. Nalu has a tendency of doing that, so silicone bowls that suction down, 100% recommend. You can find these basically like in so many places. They're getting super popular now. Also, silicone bibs with the catcher. We have made the mistake of buying a lot of material bibs, and I'm having to soak bibs every single day with nappy sand because they just get so dirty. She is like the messiest eater ever. So she'll like spit things out or like rub her hands on her clothes or whatever. So yeah, silicone bibs, do not get material bibs. Obviously for when they're younger, when they're just dribbling, that is 100% recommend. But when they start eating solids, I definitely recommend getting some silicone bibs with the catcher, because a lot of food just goes down and there's nothing to catch it. So they can end up just eating the food out of the catcher after they've finished everything on the plate or the bowl or whatever. Yeah, another thing is a high chair. Once your baby gets a little bit older, definitely get a high chair. We left it way too late and we still don't have one. It's in the mail. IKEA has been taking so long to send it, so I'm currently still waiting. It's been like 2-3 weeks. So definitely recommend a high chair, because now she just picks up her food and throws it, and it gets everywhere, and the walker is just like covered, and we're constantly having to clean it and like clean the material bit that she like sits in. So yeah, once your baby starts getting messy, get a high chair, because it's worth it, I promise. Okay, I have some essential stuff that I would recommend, kind of like usual stuff that you know you should get, but for me, I forgot a lot of these things. So teethers, definitely. She has been teething since about 3 months. A lot of babies do this at all different ages, but I definitely recommend getting some teethers for your baby. Just like little round ones, or there's like the giraffe, like the Sophie giraffe, which I definitely recommend as well. There's a lot of different teethers that you can get. You can pretty much find them at any baby store, chemist, grocery store, Amazon, like anywhere. Get some teethers, especially around the 5 to 6 month mark. They learn to grab things and put them in their mouth, and teethers, that is like one thing that she goes for all the time. The next thing is a large play mat. So once your baby starts getting around a little bit like Nalu, they do need a bigger space to crawl and move around. We were just using her small play mat and like took the tops off it, like the bit that goes across each side and has like the toys hanging. We took that off, but she was just ending up in the middle of the lounge room and sucking on the tiles. So we have ordered a large play mat in the mail, and I definitely recommend getting one. I will post like a photo here of what I'm talking about, like one of those waterproof flat ones. Once your baby starts moving around, you're going to want a large space for them to play around on. If you have carpet or a rug, that works too, but I suppose if they like vomit or make a mess or something like that, it's much easier to clean off a play mat rather than a rug. And we have tiles in here, so that is something that we definitely need, and something I definitely recommend if you have a baby around the age of 5 to 6 months and older. The next thing is dummy clips. I just went and got one for you so you know what I was talking about, but this is pretty much what I'm talking about. Nalu has dribbled on it, so that's why that's a bit darker brown. But yeah, little dummy clips. The dummy attaches to the end of this here, and this attaches to their clothes or their pram or whatever. Super handy around this age because they tend to start throwing things. So these are super easy to use. I just clip this like if we're in the pram, on the side of the pram, or I'll clip it just like on her shirt or onesie or whatever, and that way if she throws it, it won't go anywhere, and that way as well she will always be able to find it and it won't get stuck underneath her or lost. We've lost a lot of dummies, so these definitely help with that. The next thing is a sound machine for white noise. Nalu now is starting to wake up from small little noises. I'm not sure if that's just because of the leap, but I've noticed around the 5 month mark that has been happening quite a bit, so I definitely recommend a sound machine. We just use our Google Home. It plays like an automatic rain sound noise and she loves it. That helps her sleep all through the night. She's still sleeping through the night every single night, but I definitely recommend a sound machine for that. I've noticed when we don't have it on, she'll wake up from the smallest things. Like if we roll over in bed, she'll wake up. If we get out of bed, she'll wake up. Especially during her naps during the day. There's a lot of things going on in the house, but that just helps her stay nice and asleep, which is a blessing. But yeah, if you have a Google Home, that works. Literally all we say is, I'm not going to say the first word because she will start playing it, but we say, hey, play rain sound, and it plays an automatic rain sound that goes for like 6 hours, which is awesome. No, it goes for longer than that. I think like 12 hours or something like that. My phone is going to die, so I need to get through this quickly. Okay, going into the things I do not recommend, as I said, soft bibs when they're around this age. Don't recommend unless it's for dribble because you'll just end up having to soak 1,000 bibs a day. It's so not worth it. The next thing is too many expensive clothes. That is something I made the mistake of when she was a newborn. They grow out of things so quickly, and like just like that, like too quickly, and you will end up just wasting your money on all these clothes that you will end up having to give away. You can still get nice things for cheap. We go to Best and Less. If you live in Australia, you know what I'm talking about. Best and Less is the bomb.com. We get the nicest stuff for so cheap, and if she grows out of it, doesn't matter because it was like $6. So yeah, don't recommend buying like a jumper for like $50 that they're only going to be able to wear for like 2 months. Like, it's so not worth it. Plus, when they start eating solids, everything gets dirty. Like, everything. No matter how hard you try, their clothes will get dirty if they're wearing clothes while they're eating. Just buy, like, it's fine to buy a few nice things, like if you're going out or if you have an event or something like that, but for like the everyday, just buy cheap things. Like, honestly, it's a baby. Like, they don't care what they wear, and yeah, it's just not worth it. It's a waste of money in my opinion. I know some people enjoy that, that's fine, but if you're not wanting to waste your money, then do not do that. The next two things aren't exactly products, but things that people put on their baby and give their baby that aren't exactly good for them around this age, or even just like at an infant stage. So the first thing is bottles of, say, shampoo or lotion or body wash that aren't the best for your baby. So you need to realize that everything that you put on your skin soaks in and goes straight into your bloodstream. And there is a lot of products, like I would say 98% of products have a lot of bad things in them, like polysulfate 20 or fragrance. There's a lot of things in products such as fragrance, which is basically just an excuse for companies to put a whole lot of chemicals in there that they don't necessarily need to tell you about. It goes straight into their skin, straight into their bloodstream, and it can cause a lot of long-term issues that we don't even realize. There's so many things that we use as adults, like shampoo and conditioner and body cream and cleanser and makeup, that literally go straight into our skin, and there's so many bad chemicals in there. It can cause so many cancers that we like don't even realize. It can cause so many internal issues, and people don't realize. They think, oh, it's just a genetic thing, or must just be like the food I'm eating. But a lot of people don't realize it's what they're putting on their skin that causes a lot of problems. And like, this is a newborn baby, and they're trying to grow. They're trying to get as much nutrients as possible and like thrive and be able to grow efficiently and properly, and putting all these things onto their skin, it's not good for their growth. It stunts their growth in a lot of babies. It can cause a lot of problems, a lot of adverse reactions and allergies and stuff like that. So one thing that we use, and pretty much one of the only products we use, is Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It is 100% natural, just liquid Castile soap. You can find it at your health food store, and I'm going to do another whole video on this because it's a big topic that I'm very passionate about. Yeah, we basically just mix that with a few drops of essential oils and some water, and we have a pump bottle that basically makes it into foam, so you get a lot more out of it, and we use that as shampoo and body wash. And the only lotion we use is coconut oil, and it works perfectly, and she's very healthy. She has had 0 rashes, and that is not a lie. All my friends that have babies, and pretty much every single person I know, their baby has had a rash within the first 4 months, or multiple rashes. She has had none. And I know that can be caused from some foods that they start to eat, or from certain formulas and stuff like that, but yeah, she's had 0 rashes, and I'm super happy about that. But yeah, be super careful with your products, especially Johnson & Johnson. Their products are very toxic to the body, but there's a lot of companies that create toxic products, and to be honest, they don't care. They just want to make money. That's all it's about. So be careful, check the ingredients list before you buy something. The next thing is dairy products, and this is coming from a vegan, but I have done a lot of research on dairy products, especially in infants. Dairy is not good for infants at all. Even over the age of 1, it's still not good. Even as us as adults, it's still not good. It causes a lot of problems, a lot of hormone problems. It can cause acne, it can cause menstrual problems, it can cause polycystic ovarian syndrome, it can cause a lot of different things. It can cause a lot of cancers because of the proteins in it. There is no real benefit to drinking dairy or eating dairy. There was a lot of dairy companies back in the day that tried to say that you needed dairy for calcium, and that's basically what today's society believes and has believed since then. And it was basically just a whole money marketing Marketing, money, basically just like a marketing scheme to make money. The calcium in dairy is very acidic. It actually strips the calcium from your bones. There is calcium in dairy, but it does not agree with our bodies. Funny thing is, they did some studies, actually quite a lot of studies, in areas where dairy is highly consumed, and there was the most cases of osteoporosis and fractures, especially in the elderly. And that's funny because if there's calcium in dairy and they're the places that consume the most dairy, they should be having less of these problems, but there was actually more, and a lot of cancers and things like that as well. But especially in infants, they don't have the can never say this word. I'm not a doctor, but this is just everything that I've researched from scientists and professionals and things like that. Babies don't have the right molecular, something like, why can't I think of the word? Babies don't have the right molecular structure, don't correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong, to break down the enzymes in cow's milk. Basically, we create a thing called lactase, which breaks down the lactose, which is the sugar in milk. And basically lactose has two enzymes? I don't exactly know. I will link a video below that talks more about this. That are basically stuck together, and the lactase helps separate those two molecules so we're able to ingest it, which is something that we don't actually have as humans. Yeah, but there's a lot of studies, not just a few, that have shown that dairy causes a lot of issues, especially in infants. It is very likely that it gives babies a higher risk of getting type 1 diabetes when they consume dairy, and actually iron deficiency because of the proteins in the dairy. Dairy has no beneficial use to have as a child or an adult when we are the only species that drinks another mammal's milk. It wasn't made for us, it was made for the cow's babies to help them grow. We are only meant to drink our mother's milk, and that is it. So there is no scientific evidence that it helps you in any area. It only causes issues, and it might not cause issues straight away, but it will further on down the line, or give you a higher risk of getting these things like osteoporosis, cancers, polycystic ovarian syndrome, respiratory problems like asthma, cardiovascular disease, heart problems, strokes. There are so many things that dairy contributes to. So why would you give that to your baby or your growing infant? It is not good for them at all, especially in formulas. A lot of formulas are dairy-based formulas, and it is not, I definitely would not recommend getting a dairy-based formula, because there is no scientific evidence that dairy is good for children or anyone at all. They say it has calcium in it and all this stuff. Yes, it does, but it's not made for our bodies. Our body needs a certain different types of calcium, which you can get in other foods, such as like broccoli and nuts and so many different things. That is my little rant. Don't recommend dairy at all for anyone. I used to have really bad cystic acne, and since I've gone vegan and gone off dairy, my skin has cleared up. Yes, I have a big pimple here, but that is because I ate a massive bag of chips a few days ago. And yeah, I checked the ingredients, and turns out there was chicken fat in the chips. It was cooked in chicken fat, and I was livid, so angry. And then I come up with this thing. Usually I can eat chips and I'm fine, but this is the first time I've gotten a massive pimple and broken out from chips, and 100% I'm convinced it was from the chicken fat. But there's a lot of evidence backing what I'm saying. This isn't just my view on things, this is scientific evidence. I will link a video down below. Dr. Mills, I think his name is. The video is super informative. It talks about babies, infants, how dairy affects them, how dairy affects us as adults. But yes, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed. What are you doing? Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys know every single time I post, because the YouTube algorithm is changing and I do not like it, because now my stuff is not getting recommended on people's pages. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link right here. I try and use it as much as I can, but to be honest, I'm pretty bad at social media. Like, I don't really enjoy spending my life or a lot of my time on it because it's just not beneficial. Anyways, I try and post as much as I can, so follow me. But I hope this video was super informative for you guys. If it was, please leave a comment below, or message me on Instagram. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing from you guys. Yay! Hello! Nala's currently naked because it's very hot. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you all next week. Bye! Mwah! Bye.